Quicksilver Inflatables, portable, affordable fun for all ages. Each inflatable is constructed for durability. The boat is manufactured with 1000 denier Duratex PVC fabric, which contains UV and antimicrobial inhibitors. The cloth is non-stretch polyester. Lift handles, seat webbing, toe rings, safety lines, oar locks, or retainers, and splash guards are permanently attached to the tube as standard equipment. Floorboards and seats are made of polyurethane-coated marine-grade plywood. Aluminum side joiners and H-channels lock the modular floorboards in place. The boat comes with two-piece aluminum oars, leak-resistant valves, a high-velocity foot pump with air hose, a boat storage bag, and a repair kit. Before inflating the boat, clean and remove any sharp objects from the work area. Unfold the boat and spread it out. Attach the valve retainer to the valve base and install all tube valves, leaving the keel valve until the floorboards are installed. Check each valve cap to ensure the gasket is in place. A new boat should be inflated to full pressure, then deflated to a limp or soft condition before installing the floor. When inflating, maintain a balance of pressure between the air chambers to avoid damaging the baffles. If the boat has been previously inflated, add air to each chamber until half full. An electric inflator can be used and is available from Quicksilver as an accessory in 12-volt DC and 110-volt AC. The foot pump must be used to top off the chambers. Do not use an air compressor. Next, install the floorboards. The identifying numbers face up. Insert the bow board, making sure it fits in the floor doubler. Each H-joint should be installed with a large flat side facing up. Insert the rear board under the transom block between the floor doublers. Install the forward middle board into the bow floor H-joint. Insert the H-joint between the middle and transom boards. Press the floorboards until flat. Check doublers to make sure the floor is installed properly. To install the side joiners, place an oar under the boat to raise one side at a time. Slide the side joiners into place. Repeat this procedure for the opposite side. Install the seat by hooking it into the seat webbing. An inflatable seat may be purchased as an option for all models. It comes as standard equipment on the 8-foot 6-inch dinghy. Now, fully inflate the boat, maintaining the balance of air between the chambers. Do not inflate any chamber to full capacity at one time. Inflate to 3.5 pounds or until the foot pump will no longer add air. Install the keel valve and inflate. It is important to maintain a fully inflated keel to ensure integrity of the floor and boat bottom. Install all valve caps. Never exceed the rated horsepower and use only short shaft engines on Quicksilver inflatables. When in use, the boat should be carried and not dragged across sand, rock, or pavement. Launching wheels are also available from Quicksilver. If the boat is temporarily left on the beach, a portion of it should remain in the water to eliminate internal heat buildup from the sun. For longer periods of time, it should be removed from the water, especially salt water, to prevent marine growth. Store the boat in a dry area with a cover to block exposure from direct sunlight. Store the boat on risers, not on the ground or against a building, to prevent mold and mildew. To maintain the wood, it should be periodically finished with a marine quality varnish or paint. Before storing the boat in the bag, wash it with mild soap and rinse completely. Dry all parts to prevent mold and mildew. Make sure all wood parts are completely dry to prevent warping. Deflate the boat as follows. Remove the oars. Deflate the keel. Remove the valves. Remove the seat. Deflate the air chambers. Remove the side joiners. Remove the middle floorboard. Remove the H-joint. Remove the transom floorboards. Remove the bow board. Fold up the skin and pack it in the boat bag with the other components. It may be necessary to reposition valves to allow full release of air from the chambers. The bag should be stored in a dry, cool place. Proper maintenance of the boat will prevent problems from occurring. However, problems can arise, and most can be easily corrected. Before beginning any repair procedure, you should have the following materials and equipment. Solvent. MEK, acetone, or toluene are recommended. These solvents should be kept covered when not in use for safety and to prevent rapid evaporation. MEK is available in pint and quart containers through Quicksilver or your Mercury supplier. Always follow the manufacturer's precautions on labels when using solvents and glues. Quicksilver glue. It's the only adhesive recommended for use on these boats. If the product is stored correctly, it will last beyond the expiration date. Fabric for patching large rips and tears. And seam tape for reinforcing smaller rips and tears. A razor knife for incisions. And a scissors to cut patches. A heat gun to aid in separation of glued fabrics. A heat gun can be purchased at any hardware store, or you may use a good quality 1500-watt hair dryer. Masking materials. A boning tool for separating glued fabrics and applying patches. It should have blunt, smooth edges and can be made from modified tools. A hammer and a pry tool. A China marker for marking repair areas. Do not use a ballpoint pen or felt tip markers. Inks cannot be removed from the fabric. A spray bottle with soapy solution. Good quality marine varnish with UV inhibitor for wood maintenance. A Dremel tool or small grinder with a sanding bit or sandpaper for smoothing areas, such as multiple seam edges on cones or bow seams. Brushes for applying Quicksilver adhesive. Hand clamps or C-clamps for bonding fabric together. Eye protection should be worn at all times, especially when using grinders, solvents, and adhesives. A timer for gluing procedures. A variety of patches will be used for different types of repairs. Templates can be used to create the patch you need. All patches should have curved edges and should complement the look of the boat. A minimum of 1/2 inch overlap is required to cover a puncture. Accessories like D-rings can be used as patches if appropriate. For best results when repairing an inflatable, work in warm, dry areas. High humidity must be avoided. The first step is to locate the leak. Inflate the boat to full pressure. Make sure the valves and caps are installed properly. Position the boat as required. Coat the entire boat with soapy water. Check the seams, valves, and entire boat surface. Look for areas where bubbles form. Mark the leak location with the China marker. The marks will wash off later. Now, deflate the boat so you can repair the leaks. There are several types of leaks an inflatable can develop. If the leak is a small pinhole, clean the surface with MEK. Seal the hole with a drop of adhesive. A dime-sized patch may be attached using a small amount of adhesive. Inflate the boat to low pressure. This repair will require 2 applications of adhesive, which should be allowed to dry 15 minutes between applications. Then apply the patch. Use MEK to remove excess adhesive after all repairs. Both methods should be cured overnight before inflating the boat to full pressure. For a leak or seam separation under 3 inches, clean the surface with MEK. If a repair does not require an entire container of adhesive, a small amount of accelerator and adhesive can be prepared. Mix 12 parts of accelerator to 100 parts of adhesive in a clean container. The mixture will remain usable for 10 hours if covered when not in use. Apply adhesive, following directions, and apply pressure with a boning tool. Let cure overnight. For larger leaks or seam separations that are more than 3 inches, inner and outer patches are required. Insert a sheet of wax paper under the repair area to prevent accidental gluing of the inner surface of the tube. Prep the repair surface and patch with MEK. Apply 2 light, even coats of adhesive to both the patch and the repair surface. Let the adhesive dry a minimum of 10 minutes between applications. Insert the inner patch, aligning the overlapping borders. This may require 2 people to lay fabric without wrinkles or air bubbles. Use the boning tool to apply and press the patch, working from the center out. Clamp and allow to cure 24 hours. Finally, inflate to full pressure and check for leaks. To install the outer patch, leave the boat inflated and mark the area to be patched. Mask and apply the adhesive. Lay the patch in a manner that will avoid air bubbles and cure for 24 hours. These repair procedures apply to most leaks in the keel, floor, and air chambers. If a leak is found in the valve, check the valve cap and make sure the gasket is in place and in good condition. If the valve still leaks, the source of the leak is from one of 3 areas: the cap and gasket, between the valve and valve base, or between the valve base and the boat fabric. When the threads or seat are damaged in the valve base, it needs to be replaced. Mark a 3 1/4 inch circle on the skin, centered over the valve. Cut through the skin, valve base, and backing patch. Use a sharp utility knife with a firm, steady pressure and full blade engagement. Lift the valve to prevent cutting the skin opposite the valve. Pull the valve base away from the knife while cutting. Cut a patch 6 to 7 inches in diameter with a center hole for the neck on the valve base. Using proper preparation procedures, glue the patch to the valve base on the outward-facing surface. Use the boning tool to apply pressure to secure the adhesive bond. Allow to dry for 1 hour. Prepare the patch and boat skin with MEK and mark a circle on the skin the same diameter as the patch, centered over the hole in the skin. Place a wood block with a 3 1/2 inch hole under the skin. Center the hole in the skin over the hole in the block. Apply adhesive to the outer skin surface and the inward facing surface of the patch. Allow the adhesive to dry for 15 minutes. Apply a second coat of adhesive to both surfaces and dry for 15 minutes. Install the valve and patch to the skin and allow to cure for 24 hours before inflating and leak testing. When the transom pocket separates from the tube, clean the area with MEK. Re-glue the area with 2 adhesive applications, allowing 15 minutes to dry with each application. All transom repairs should cure 24 hours before reinflating the boat. If the transom pocket separates from the marine plywood, clean the area and make sure the plywood is completely free of moisture. Sand the finish off the plywood for better adhesion. Using proper preparations and gluing steps, re-glue the pocket and apply the overlapping patch to reinforce the joint. Thirdly, press the patch down with a boning tool and allow 24 hours to cure. The same methods are used when the transom fabric separates from the plywood. Pull the fabric back using heat and MEK. Dry the area completely, re-glue, and allow 24 hours for curing. If there is a water leak under the transom, remove the floor support boards and pull the fabric back both inside and out. This will allow complete drying of the plywood and additional area for re-gluing. Proper bonding requires completely dry surfaces. Re-glue and allow to cure for 24 hours. If the drain plug insert is leaking, pull out the insert, clean it and the inside of the hole, and completely dry the plywood around the hole. Re-glue the insert and install into the transom. Seal between the plywood and insert from the inside with a good grade marine sealant. The keel is available as a separate service part. To remove the keel, cut the keel straps to separate the keel from the floor. Keel straps are attached to the new keel. Standard gluing procedures are used to attach the keel to the boat floor. Most fixed parts are serviceable separately and can be replaced if necessary. Rub strakes can be added by following standard gluing procedures. If a rub strake separates, simply re-glue the original unless it has been damaged. If oar locks, D-rings, or lift handles separate, they may be reattached with Quicksilver adhesive. When it comes to repairs, any contracted Mercury Marine dealer is authorized to service inflatable boats. When a customer brings an inflatable into your shop for warranty evaluation or repair, you must determine if the problem is warrantable. If you sell inflatables but do not service them, call Mercury Marine's Service Department in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, for referral to a dealer near you who services Quicksilver inflatables. If you service inflatables, assess the failure. Determine whether or not it's a manufacturer defect or damaged by the customer. And is the repair something you can do in-house? Then you must estimate the time and materials needed to make the repair. Add test and administrative fees to that estimate. The Quicksilver inflatable boat warranty offers limited prorated coverage for 5 years on the hull seams, and fabric. All other boat parts and accessories are covered by a limited 1-year warranty. If the repairs are warrantable but will likely exceed the value of the boat, contact Mercury's technical services for pre-authorization to replace the skin. When the replacement is pre-authorized, you will receive the pre-authorization number and pre-printed warranty claim, or you may fill out a claim. Make sure the pre-authorization number is on the form. The customer should retain the floor hardware, oars, foot pump, boat bag, and repair kit. Carefully remove the capacity plate and the HIN tag, or hull identification number tag. These tags will be transferred to the new skin when you receive it. Attach the tags which were removed from the failed boat. The skin is considered a replacement part until it is properly tagged. It is then considered a boat. After proper tagging, return the boat to the customer. When returning a failed skin to Mercury, the claim sheet with the pre-authorization number must accompany the skin. This will ensure proper warranty credit. Ship the skin via UPS. Failed or defective 12-foot-6 models must be sent via truck freight collect. Check packing carefully before opening to identify possible shipping damage, which is not warrantable. If you receive a defective boat directly from the factory, handle the repair as a warranty issue, not a finished goods problem. The boat repairs must be processed through the warranty system for proper payment.
I don't want that boat.
If a customer buys a defective boat and returns it in a short time with a warranty problem and will not accept repairs, you may replace the boat from stock if authorized. Call Mercury Marine Service Department immediately for your pre-authorization number. Remove the HIN tag from the boat in stock and transfer the customer's tags to the new boat. Follow the same warranty procedure. All manufacturing defects are covered under warranty. This flat rate chart shows the warrantable repairs and how long each one is covered. Repair procedures may also be necessary on fiberglass models. Through normal use, fiberglass can develop surface gouges, nicks, and scratches. These should be refinished to maintain the boat's appearance. Repairing fiberglass is easy. To get started, the following materials are needed: a solvent like acetone for cleaning repair surfaces, and a bucket of water. A power drill with burr bit or number 50 sandpaper for rounding out and feathering edges. Tape for masking off the repair area. Gel coat and a catalyst for filling small cracks. Cavasil to add to gel coat for bigger cracks or gouges. Bondo body filler to fill large cracks. A matchstick or piece of wood for applying the gel coat. 320 grit, 400 grit, 600 grit, and 1000 grit sandpaper for smoothing patch areas. An electric buffer and buffing compound. Wax paper. Mixing boards and paste wax. An electric heater is optional for accelerating curing of patching materials. For easy do-it-yourself fiberglass repairs, a gel coat repair kit is available from your Quicksilver inflatable dealer. Proper proportions of gel coat and catalyst, as well as complete instructions, are included in the kit. Always wear safety goggles when repairing a boat and work in a warm, dry, well-ventilated area. Gel coat does not bond well in high humidity and temperatures below 70 degrees. A heater or heat lamp may be used indoors to heat repair surfaces. For small scratches or gouges, clean the surface thoroughly with solvent, rinse with clear water, and let dry. This removes any wax, oil, or silicone residue that could affect bonding. Sand down the damaged area using 320 grit sandpaper or a power drill with a burr bit. Round out and feather edges of the surrounding area. Be sure to remove all flaky edges. After sanding, blow off the dust and wipe the area with acetone. Do not touch the area with fingers or hands. Mask the area to be repaired. Mix a gel coat using a 2 to 3% catalyst to gel coat ratio. This is about 3 to 5 drops of catalyst in 1/2 ounce of gel coat. Mix thoroughly to prevent soft spots in the patch. Use the matchstick or wood piece and dab gel coat on the damaged area. Apply a thick coat since the gel coat shrinks about 2 to 3%. Immediately after applying gel coat, place a piece of wax paper over the patch. The paper should overlap the patch by an inch on all sides. Use a straight, flat edge to stroke over the wax paper, removing excess gel coat and air bubbles. Leave the wax paper in place and let it stand for several hours or overnight. A heat lamp may be used to speed up the hardening process. The heat lamp should be placed about 24 inches from the surface. When the patch is firm and hard to the touch, the wax paper can be removed and the area sanded. Sand the area with 400 grit sandpaper first and smooth to hull finish. Then work with 600 grit and 1000 grit sandpaper. Buff the area to complete the job. To repair a deeper fiberglass gouge, the first few steps are the same as before. Prepare a gel coat catalyst mixture and thin with acetone to a runny texture. Mix the Bondo or gel coat Cavasil mixture to make a paste-like thickness. It should be thick enough so it does not run down the side of the hull. Fill in the gouge with the mixture and allow to harden. Using 230 to 400 grit sandpaper, sand the area until it's smooth. Mask off an area larger than needed so the gel coat can be feathered. Rolling the tape edges up on the sides creates a feathered edge. Spray gel coat onto the surface. If it needs to be thinned to flow through the paint gun, mix the gel coat with 2 to 3% of catalyst and thin with acetone. Let it stand for several hours or, once again, overnight. Remove the masking material. To finish the job, wet the 400 grit sandpaper and start sanding at the feathered edge and work inward. Now wet sand with 600 grit and 1000 grit sandpaper to smooth the surface. Apply a fine grit rubbing compound to the area and buff with an electric buffer. Be sure to remove all sanding marks. Apply a thin coat of paste wax to complete the repair. This program has demonstrated the ease of assembly, maintenance, and repair of Quicksilver inflatables. With proper tools and materials and attention to a few simple details, Quicksilver inflatables will prove to be a successful and profitable addition to your business.
Hello, I'm Eric Frack, and I'm the product manager for Quicksilver Inflatables. So far, you've had a chance to see how the boats are put together and how they're repaired. I'd like to spend a few minutes and tell you about the features and benefits of the inflatables that make them a very good value. I'd also like to show you how to present these features and benefits to a customer. Inflatables in general are unique when compared to aluminum, fiberglass, and wooden boats. They're lighter in weight, they're more buoyant, they're very stable, and they're much, much more portable. What makes our boat such a good value? I'd like to show you because we have more features packed on this boat than just about any other boat on the market. Let me show you some of them. I'd like to first talk about the air chambers. Our boat has 3 air chambers, one on this side, one on the opposite side, and one in the bow, plus an inflatable keel. Many of the boats you're competing against only have 2 air chambers, and some don't even have an inflatable keel. What does this mean? This means that a customer has one more air chamber than our competitors. It's peace of mind. Because you know in the back of their mind they're thinking about, what if I get a leak? That's something that you need to address up front. The inflatable keel helps mainly in performance, especially under power. So it's a performance issue, and again, peace of mind. Next thing I'd like to talk about is the horsepower rating for our boats. The horsepower rating on this particular boat, which is an 8-foot 9-inch, happens to be a 9.9. I point this out when I'm selling to a customer because it is an indication of how well built the boats are. This is a Coast Guard rating that is determined by a formula that takes into account the size of the tubes, the thickness of the transom, and also the thickness of the floorboards. Another thing that it does, it gives you more opportunities to sell an outboard. Some of your competitors are limited in this size range to a 6 or 7 horse engine. With us, you've got up to a 9.9. 70% of the boats that we sell, our dealers tell us, go out the door with an engine attached. If the engine's not attached, the customer eventually goes looking for an outboard engine because, let's face it, rowing the boat is fun until the wind comes up, and then you're looking for an outboard. Now let's take a look at the floorboards. We use 1/2-inch marine grade plywood. Recently, upon testing our competitors, we found that they have gone to a 3/8-inch plywood. What does that mean again for the customer? More flex in the ride. We found that the boats were torquing a lot, especially turning when it was under power. Going back and trying our boat with a 1/2-inch, there's a big difference. Also, what they're doing with their floors, they're changing from aluminum to nylon in their H channel and their C channels. The H channel, if you remember from the earlier part, is the section that holds the boards together. The C channel, or stringer, is what holds the boards longitudinally. You go from aluminum to plastic, you can imagine what happens. The combination between going to this plastic nylon piece and going to a 3/8-inch floorboard means even more flex. It's a story that needs to be pointed out to the customer. He's not going to see it right away at a boat show. Initially, when I saw the boats at the boat show, it wasn't something I picked up. Not until we went and used the boats did we see the problem. I started out talking about what a great value Quicksilver inflatables are. Now, price is only part of a great value. We believe that people want to take their boats out of the box for the very first time and have everything included to enjoy a fun day on the water. We have included oars, a seat, repair kit, a pump, and a deluxe Cordura nylon storage bag at no extra cost. Everything your customer needs to go out and have a good time. When you're competing against the competition and comparing these boats, please keep in mind that we're not always talking apples to apples. Make sure that everything is included in that competitor's price when you're doing a price quote. And something that the competitors don't have in any way, shape, or form, and that's a connection to Mercury Marine. Mercury Marine has over 50 years of heritage in the marine business and is the best known name in the marine business worldwide. Quicksilver is a division of Mercury Marine. They're the ones standing behind the warranty. The warranty is a 5-year prorated warranty on the tubes, the fabric, air holding seams around the boat. We have a 1-year warranty on the seat and on the oars, the bag, etc., and the various items. But this is a point that you really need to drive home when you're competing against this Quicksilver name, which is relatively new on the market. I would also like to talk about the material our boats are made from. We use Duratex 1000, which is PVC. Some of our competitors use Hypalon, which is rubber. Now, PVC was developed in the mid-1970s as a less expensive alternative to rubber that was still a very durable fabric. We've chosen to use PVC since we're trying to give the best value to our customer and also give them a boat that is very affordable. Now, people ask me a variety of questions about the material. The question of fish hooks keeps coming up, and also what would happen if they press their car keys into the boat, etc. I show them a piece of the fabric. The piece of the fabric you have with you in the form of the repair kit. The fabric included in the repair kit is the same fabric that is the silver material used in the boat. I hand the fabric to them and ask them if it's durable enough for their everyday use. I think you'll have to admit that this is very substantial fabric, and it puts most of those questions to rest. I'd also like to talk to you about our sales brochure. This sales brochure is provided to you at no cost. And in the sales brochure, we have tried to include a picture of just about everything you could do with an inflatable. We would like to put our customers into this picture as much as possible. The front page that opens shows the current models and gives the relevant specifications. The last page opens up to show features and benefits. I realize you're very busy with your many schedules around the dealership. If nothing else, if you can pick up this brochure and read through the features and benefits, you've answered at least 90% of the questions. Now that I've gone over many of the features and benefits of the boats, why don't we put them all together and do a presentation to a customer? Good morning. I'm
Hello.
Eric Frack.
Hi, Eric. Tom Ackerman.
Hi, Tom. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you're looking at our Quicksilver inflatables. Are you familiar with this line?
I am a little bit. I stopped at the show that you had at the Coliseum a couple weeks ago, and I checked out some inflatables, some of the competition, and starting to get in the market. I'd like to get real serious about knowing more about them.
Okay. At the show, you saw our entire lineup of Quicksilvers. We have them all the way from a 7.5 footer to a 12.5. Is there a particular size you were interested in?
Well, in your brochure, I saw the 8.9, and I guess that one seems to be the one that I'd like to take a closer look at.
This is the 8-foot 9-inch model.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what we're talking about for what Quicksilver has. Could you just give me a better idea of how you plan to use it, your type of boating?
Yeah, right now we have a 26-foot cruiser, Eric, that we put up at the lake and with a slip and what have you, and then it gets really hard to take it to other lakes. So what we're looking for is something that's easy for us to get around. We have a 10-year-old son. I guess I'd like to think I could do some fishing out of it. And what I'm really trying to find out is should I go to the John boat side, because I had one of those in the past and I know I'd be able to show Evan how to use that, or should I go to the inflatable, because I'm seeing a lot of people with them.
Okay. First of all, a big difference between an inflatable and a John boat is its portability.
Yeah, how easy are these to trailer and get around?
Well, first of all, the trailering issue. If you want to trailer the boat, you certainly can. It weighs slightly over 100 pounds, so it'll fit any size of, small little trailer. It can be pulled behind a small car. But the
Okay.
unique ability of an inflatable to be able to be deflated and put into the bag is really special. This Cordura nylon bag comes with the boat. Okay.
Okay.
This particular boat, deflated, fits right in the bag. Throw it over your shoulder and away you go. Put it in your trunk, back of your car, on top of your car. You can carry it to the shore of the lake, put it together, away you go boating. Okay?
Okay, so trailering isn't going to be a problem?
No.
How about my 10-year-old son? Safety-wise, stability, I mean, are these things good on the water?
Yeah, it's unique in that it has these 15-inch tubes on either side of the boat. Okay? It'll hold up to 900 pounds. So that combination, the boat is it's going to be stable for him. It's going to be something you're going to feel very secure about.
Okay, one of the concerns I have, Eric, is with a John boat, I know I'm going to have low maintenance. I've had one in the past. Fish hooks and what have you, do people poke holes in these? Or, I mean, is it going to last me a long time?
Great question. That's why we include a repair kit with the boat. In the repair kit is a piece of fabric that is exactly the same fabric that the boat is made from.
Okay.
Okay, it's a reinforced fabric, and I think you'd agree that that reinforced fabric is pretty strong. If you want to put a fish hook through the boat, I'm sure if you try hard enough, you'll get one through. But have you ever repaired a tire on a bicycle?
Yeah, have my son do that now.
Well,
but, yeah.
now your son could do the repairs on the inflatable.
Okay.
Try to make it as easy as possible for you.
Now this isn't Hypalon. I read about that in some of the other boats.
Okay? This fabric is Duratex 1000. Essentially, it's PVC, polyvinyl chloride. The only other type of fabric that's really being used a lot today with inflatables is the Hypalon, which is actually rubber. Rubber versus the PVC. PVC was developed in the 70s as a less expensive alternative to rubber that still has that same type of durability that you find with the Hypalon. We're trying to build a boat here, Tom, that gives you a lot of features on the boat. It's also very affordable.
I got a couple other names that I've heard of in inflatables, but I haven't really heard a Quicksilver name. Is that, I have a Mercury. Now, is that the same company then you're saying?
Same company, exactly, yes.
Okay, warranties and stuff. I know my Mercury's been real good by me.
Good, glad to hear that. The warranty that comes with the boat, you have a 5-year warranty on these tubes and the seams, everything that holds the air. There's a 1-year warranty on the paddles and the wood seat and that type of thing.
Eric, a couple of the other things I want to know about is what makes Quicksilver a Quicksilver. I mean, I've looked at some of the brochures of others, and I need you to tell me some of the unique things you have. And I want to know a package price. I mean, I don't want to learn later that there's 8 or 10 other things I need to get the boat in the water and all that.
Okay, let me tell you about the boat some, Tom. First of all, everything that you see here is included as standard. You've got the seat included, you've got the oars included, the bags included, the foot bump, and the repair kit. Some things that make our boat unique in comparing it to the others is that our boat, first of all, has 3 air chambers versus 2.
I guess I've noticed that in their literature.
Okay. You've got 1 on each side and 1 on the bow. Repetition of air chambers, okay? A little bit better peace of mind for you.
Okay.
We've used 1/2-inch marine grade plywood throughout the floor.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. Not everyone uses that. Is that something, I don't know, you've gone overboard on and I'm paying for, or is it necessary?
What we found with a 3/8-inch floorboard is that that also allows the floor to shift more, to torque more under power. We have stayed with a 1/2-inch floor to give you better stability, less flex, and overall, again, a better value for the boat. We have lifelines that we've included all around the boat for convenience. As you jump off the boat, pulling it up onto shore, you've got a line in the bow to grab onto instead of giving it the old bear hug, you know, to try to shove it up on shore.
Okay.
The oars which are included are able to be secured into place by the holders and also are securely attached at the side, so they're not going to go anywhere if someone happens to let go of the oar.
Someone happens to, like my son.
Well, you know, I didn't want to say that, but if your 10-year-old gets out there and starts playing
I hear
around,
ya.
that might happen. The seat, the rowing seat, is also included with the boat. We try to think of everything to put on this boat so you can go out today and be boating. Do you have an engine now?
No, had one when we had the John boat, but I don't know, I see people out with an engine. I guess that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's usually the way that people like them. You can row them, and they row very easily, except that you increase the versatility of your boat by having an engine and able to do you know, trolling with your fishing and whatnot. This boat takes up to a 9.9 horsepower engine.
Okay.
And what you'll find with some of these that are built lighter weight, in that they've got the lighter weight wood, okay, is that they have a smaller horsepower rating. Gives you an indication, at least in my mind, of how well the boat's been put together.
Okay, without going back and forth and all that stuff that you get at some places, what I want is what I see here included. What is it going to take for us to get a hot price on an inflatable? I want to make a decision here somewhere over the next week.
Okay, well, we still have our boat show pricing today for both the boat and the engine. You know, I think you're correct in saying that you're going to want to have an engine on with the boat. It's a lot more fun trolling when you go fishing. That's the way to go. If you want to step over to my office, I have some numbers over there you may want to take a look at.
Okay.
Well, there you have it. Now you know how to put them together and how to repair them. Hopefully you know how to sell them. We hope we've been entertaining for you and also instructive. If you have other questions, please call the zone sales manager or your service sales manager or your sales coordinator. The rest is up to you. Good luck.